Well, good morning, and thank you for joining us today as we mark the final day of Grow the Great Life Week. I'm so happy to be here with colleagues and partners to share some really exciting news about South Haymarket Park. And joining me today are some key partners in progress on South Haymarket Park: Lincoln City Council at-large member and Vice Chair Sandra Washington, Lincoln Parks and Recreation Director Maggie Stuckey-Ross, Lincoln Parks Foundation Executive Director Randy Gordon, Downtown Lincoln Association President Todd Ogden, and Lincoln Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Jason Ball. Now, throughout this week, we have celebrated the City of Lincoln's commitment to growing the great life by supporting and incentivizing strong, smart growth that creates economic opportunity and enhances quality of life for all. South Haymarket Park will do both, and that's why building it is a priority pillar for my administration. The park's features will benefit our entire community and attract visitors from beyond our city limits. We've previewed our preliminary plans for the park in the past, and today we want to show you how those plans are evolving in some truly exciting ways. I'm pleased to announce that the City of Lincoln plans to purchase 2 properties adjacent to South Haymarket Park that will expand the park's footprint and extend its imprint on our community's quality of life. We are literally growing the great life by increasing the size of South Haymarket Park and creating even more green space for residents and visitors and children, like a couple of those in the audience today, to enjoy. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to build an iconic public space that will support the growth of residential living downtown, catalyze economic development, and spark tourism here in the quality of life capital of the country. Here to share more details about our expanded plans for South Haymarket Park is Lincoln Parks and Recreation Director Maggie Stuckey-Ross. Director?
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. We are so excited to grow the footprint of South Haymarket Park and make this park happen for the community. It will be bigger, better, and more impactful than anything we could have imagined. While the initial plans for the park envisioned a mixed-use development at 215 South 7th Street, subsequent discussions about the best use of that property took us in a different direction. Together with our private sector partners, we made a mutual decision to add the 1.54 acre lot located at 215 South 7th into South Haymarket Park. The second property, 540 L Street, will be vacated by Bison Inc. as part of their ongoing transition to an expanded facility in the nearby South Salt Creek neighborhood. So with new space comes new opportunities, and our team jumped at the chance to add amenities for the community. These new features include a community hearth, providing a place for residents to gather and reconnect with the warmth and glow of a safe fire feature. A 4th play zone on the playground, providing additional opportunities for all ages and all abilities to play. A centrally located community room or pavilion, providing a year-round enclosed shelter for rental. Like the 3 existing enclosed shelter in our park system, this pavilion will provide a beautiful setting in a great location for birthday parties, weddings, business meetings, family reunions, and more. And outside of the pavilion will be shaded patio space for impromptu gatherings, picnic lunches, and respite. In addition, a newly oriented parking lot for park goers with access now at 6th and L Street. And a new connection point for the Chris Beitler Trail, which will wind through the west side of the park and egress at 6th and L Street, leading to an on-street connection for trail users wishing to meander to the Jamaica North Trailhead at 4th and J. And finally, a new location for the all-wheels skate park, which will move from the southern tip of the park to a central location just off of N Street. Our team is actively working on design detail and preparing construction documents. And to account for the new amenities, our partners at Lincoln Parks Foundation have adjusted the amount of the capital campaign. When the South Haymarket Park campaign was announced by Mayor Gaylor Baird at the State of the City address in October, the private fundraising goal was $10 million. With the new layout and the new feature, we've revised the private fundraising goal to $16 million. While the park footprint has changed, the timeline remains the same. It is our intent to have shovels in the ground 1 year from now and to celebrate the opening of South Haymarket Park 2 years from now in the spring of 2026. I look forward to welcoming our community to South Haymarket Park.
Thank you so much, Director Stuckey Ross, for you and everyone's work at Lincoln Parks and Rec. Now, here to share more about the positive impact of green spaces on the livability and vitality of our community is Lincoln City Council at-large member and Vice Chair Sandra Washington, who has a lot of expertise in public parks. Councilmember Washington?
Thank you, Mayor. It is a pleasure to be here today to celebrate the wonderful progress on the South Haymarket Park. As many know, I worked for the National Park Service for 25 years, retiring in 2014 as the Associate Regional Director for Cultural Resources, Planning, Construction, Communications, Legislation, and Congressional Affairs. I currently serve on the board of the Nebraska Trails Foundation, the National Park Conservation Association, and Lincoln's Park and Recreation Advisory Board. From my career as a park professional to my role as a mom of an active kid, I believe in the power of parks and recreation for play, for restoring our spirit, and as a lasting legacy. Parks create a better life for everyone by building strong, healthy, and resilient communities. We're all lucky to live in a community that has invested in our park and trail system for decades, and today's announcement is yet another chapter in this wonderful story. The impact of South Haymarket Park will be felt across our community, serving downtown residents and the South Salt Creek neighborhood just south of here, welcoming visitors in town for events at the Pinnacle Bank Arena and the University of Nebraska. It will welcome dogs who need a space to run, kids who will splash their way through the Common Ground Plaza, and the park will be a beacon to the skaters who have been dreaming of an in-ground facility in town their entire lives. This park will have it all, and I am so excited. 2 years from now, I look forward to celebrating with Lincoln as we open the South Haymarket Park.
Thank you, Councilmember Washington. We're so fortunate to have your expertise as part of our city team, and thank you for your support of this park. And thank you to all of our colleagues on the Lincoln City Council, because without their partnership and support, we wouldn't be able to stand here today, and they have been instrumental in helping us grow the great life in Lincoln. Now, while private donations and grant funding have already contributed significant support for this project, we do invite even more community members to be a part of realizing this bold vision of South Haymarket Park. And here to provide an update on our South Haymarket Park Capital Campaign is Lincoln Parks Foundation Executive Director, Randy Gordon. Randy?
On behalf of the Lincoln Parks Foundation Board, we're thrilled to be part of today's announcement. Since 1992, Lincoln Parks Foundation has worked with private philanthropic partners to enhance the park system of our community. Through public-private partnerships, amazing amenities have been added throughout Lincoln. Most recently, the renovation of Cascade Fountain and the relocation of Air Park Community Center have been completed with support from our generous community. We are honored to play a part to make our community's dreams a reality, and South Haymarket Park is the next dream. Over the next several months, our team will be out in the community meeting with donors and organizations, sharing these park plans as they continue to evolve, and seeking support. Our tireless park advocate, Susan Larson-Rodenberg, is leading the campaign for our organization, and we thank her for her commitment to this mission. Part of the campaign fundraising goal includes funding for 2 endowments that will be held in perpetuity by Lincoln Parks Foundation to help care for the park well into the future. One endowment will be dedicated to the repair and replacement of park amenities. The second endowment will be focused on activating and programming, which we believe is critical to the success of South Haymarket Park. Much like the programming endowment at Union Plaza, we anticipate this endowment will empower community members and organizations to utilize this park and its features to their fullest potential. South Haymarket Park will be an iconic addition to Lincoln's incredible parks and recreation system. We can't wait to cut the ribbon and watch the magic unfold. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Randy. We're so grateful for your support, for Susan's support. It really takes an entire team, and we've got an amazing team at the Lincoln Parks Foundation. Now, creating a vibrant public space where downtown Lincoln residents and visitors can gather will add to the livability and economic vitality of our downtown and Haymarket districts. And here to share more about the benefits of South Haymarket Park to this area is Downtown Lincoln Association President and CEO, Todd Ogden.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm just really excited to be here. When we had our downtown master plan in 2018, this West Park concept was just a concept. It was an idea to be a catalyst. And I could have never imagined how much our mayor and her parks team at the Parks Foundation would take this idea and run with it. Like when we say catalyst, it means having things grow around it and being a spark plug for our community. And I can't think of a greater spark plug than what we have with this park. This will transform downtown to something that we don't currently have. I like to think, as a downtown professional, that downtown has a little something for everybody. But what we really want to do is continue to find ways to encourage all families to come to downtown Lincoln. And there's no greater asset for us than to have this park for the families. And I'm just really excited about that. And I just like that with all these new added amenities and the new space that we're going to have, this is not a compromise project. This is going to be transformative, and there's going to be no stone unturned with this. So just really, really excited about it. And I'm just excited that when this is done, when people say park downtown, they're not going to be thinking about cars. They're going to be thinking about this place. So I'm really excited about that. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Todd. Your energy is infectious. And as our destination urban park, South Haymarket Park will help catalyze economic development and activity and make Lincoln an even more attractive destination for tourism. That is a big reason why the Nebraska Department of Economic Development last year made a $2.1 million grant of its allocation of federal American Rescue Plan funds to help build this park. And we're so grateful for that contribution. But here to share more about how South Haymarket Park will grow the economic vitality of our city is Lincoln Chamber and Commerce President and CEO Jason Ball. The Chamber's been a wonderful partner to us for a very long time, and we are really in sync as we approach how to grow the great life in Lincoln. Jason?
Mayor, thank you so much, and congratulations on the completion on this beautiful Friday of the Grow the Great Life Week. It's an honor to be here and celebrate this finale Friday here this week with you. And obviously, as we've all seen today, this park is going to be a beautiful addition to our downtown. It's going to be an important asset for our residents to use, and not just for maybe the next 10 or 20 years. This is a 100-year asset. We're going to be impacting this community with this project for 100 years, and I hope more. What an exciting moment that we're in right now. As the mayor mentioned, this will be a boon to our economic growth and vitality in 3 ways. First of all, the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce holds the contract in partnership with the County of Lancaster County for our Visit Lincoln program. This is the program that competes to bring more conventions and visitors and tourists into our community. And I can't stress enough, this skate park is going to be amazing for our local skaters and residents, but it is going to give Lincoln another asset to compete for youth sporting events through bringing tournaments to the skate park. This will be the largest skate park in between, I believe, Denver and Des Moines in the Midwest. It is going to be a unique asset that is going to put us on the map for yet another way to bring visitors into this community and drive our economy that way. And as a former skater kid that grew up in West Nebraska, my heart is excited, even though I probably won't drop into the bowl anytime soon. It's also going to help with workforce. We all know that businesses need to fuel their growth through workforce, and community amenities, yes, like parks, like expanded trail systems, like the skate park, are going to be important to keep Lincoln competitive as a place to say, this is a place where you can not only have a great career, but you're going to have a great personal life outside of your work with community amenities to enjoy, like the South Haymarket Park. Last, I don't want to lose the fact that as we've seen the success of the vision that it took to expand into the West Haymarket now more than 10 years ago with the Pinnacle Bank Arena and Canopy Street and all the other great projects we've seen, this economic investment continues to extend south. This park project is definitely part of that. And the environs in the park will become a very attractive asset for around the park, other businesses, other entrepreneurs, and other companies to want to invest more in our downtown core, bringing more economic vitality to the city. The Chamber is very proud to be supporting this project, and we can't wait to celebrate 100 years from now to celebrate its success. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you so much, Jason, and thanks so much to your team at the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce for your strong support of entrepreneurship and economic opportunity, streets and transportation, workforce, and creating iconic destinations like South Haymarket Park. We are together growing the great life for everyone in Lincoln. With that, we'd be happy to open things up for questions from the media.
How how much more in city funds is this going to cost? You've increased the fundraising goal, but what about city funds?
Well, the city is committed to this project, and we have, in previous administrations, made contributions, and I can let the parks folks and foundation folks address that. We estimate about $10 million in infrastructure for streetscapes surrounding the park will be a major contribution of the city. We want to have safe pedestrian access to the park, so the crosswalk from the parking garage to the north, street trees and sidewalks and the sort of entry points. The city will have a major role in supporting infrastructure for the park. Maggie, do you want to share any more about the city's contribution?
I would say primarily, Margaret, the increase in the campaign will be on the private side. The city has contributed about $4.4 million to the park to date. And like Mayor said, this park works if people can get to it and get to it safely and feel welcome by it. So we're definitely thinking about it as a kind of a broader picture outside of the park. And
is the purchase of the land going to be through, is that fundraising money to purchase the? So that
15 South 7th Street is going to be acquired using anonymous donor funds that became available for us. And the 540 L Street was purchased by our Urban Development Department using TIF funds.
TIF from the downtown?
I believe it was in, and that was actioned by the council in December. Yeah, about 3 months ago.
And is the skate park, you had a skate park in the original plan, right? So is it just moving, or is it going to be bigger, or how's it changing?
I'm going to say both. It's moving, and we're just recognizing, we're hearing from the community how important this amenity is. We're recognizing it's going to draw all ages, all abilities, all wheels, we like to say. So yeah, we have opened up the footprint quite a bit. Our partner Spawn Ranch out of California, it's the firm that's designing the skate park, has really a blank slate right now, and we're excited to see what they're going to do to design it for, again, beginners and people like Jason, who have been skating for years, and those higher amenities. So yeah,
I'm a little rusty.
Yeah, so the footprint is bigger.
And the building, the project is still, that hasn't changed. The apartments and
so
commercial
that has changed. So that block is now going to be park space. So the building at the corner of 7th and N will no longer be built, and so that is the space that we're adding to the park and giving us the opportunity to move amenities around. Yeah.
The food truck space that's kind of around that area already, is that still going to be there, or is that changing, or is that going away? What's that looking like?
That's still there. That's just another asset that we've added to the portfolio of things that make downtown super exciting for our community. The lights under Rosa Parks Bridge and the parkour features, the skating features, and the half-court basketball. It's just another way that folks can enjoy downtown. We're seeing an increase in residential living. We want to continue to catalyze that. We know that housing is important, and having some of these features make downtown more livable. The park will, again, be a catalyst for making downtown life and living just that much better.
But are those like in the same area, or am I thinking of something different?
They're not too far from one another, right? So we could foresee on a game day Saturday that there'd be folks tailgating under Rosa Parks Way and having picnics in the park, playing, letting their kids get the wiggles out before they head to Memorial Stadium.
Could you talk a little bit more about why you abandoned the idea of the mixed-use building in lieu of a park space? Why did that happen?
Had months of work and negotiations and discussions about the use of that site, and as you see across our community and over the years, sometimes projects that are presented over time morph. And in this case, there was a mutual decision that really the best and highest use for this block would be parkland. So we're very grateful for our partnership with Edo in many other locations throughout the community. They have made remarkable contributions to the Great Life. If you just look at Telegraph, that's an Edo development that the city has worked hand in hand with them to support with infrastructure and TIF financing. So we have a great, strong working partnership, and in this case, this is what emerged as maybe the best decision moving forward.
Is there less of a demand for residential?
I don't think there's less of a demand for residential, but as you've seen with the Bold project, in some cases, costs have gone up and have changed folks' sort of decisions about when to build. There's always a mix of decisions that factor into building a development project, tenants, etc. But in this case, the mutual negotiations and conversations have led us to this place where people feel really good about this being green space. And Edo is they've developed housing just north of the park. They have properties around the park. I think they can see the benefits of an even more vibrant green space for their other endeavors.
When you say like mutual contributions, have you heard a lot from like the community? Have you got a lot of input from like residents kind of about what they want to see from in the park?
So much. So much. Because as Todd mentioned, the downtown master plan, which is sort of a visionary document for how we grow an exciting downtown, has called out for a park on the west side of downtown for years. And there's been different surveys, there have been community meetings in the past. My predecessor, Mayor Beitler, had an extraordinary vision to put this park together. And so we have just picked up where the previous administration left off and worked to evolve the design of the park based on additional community input. And so we are very excited that these features represent what our community is looking for and what we think will help grow our local economy and our quality of life.
Are there continued plans to keep this downtown economic development expansion going further south and further west of the railroad?
Well, we definitely envision that. I think when folks put together the plans for the West Haymarket, the idea was that in time we would see residual sort of adjacent development to the south, and we're already seeing that, of course. So everything's happened even faster than we all had hoped for, with headquarters like Huddle and Olson expanding into the West Haymarket and restaurants coming there. And so, yeah, we anticipate more housing and further development to the south. The park will help catalyze that, because who wouldn't want to be next to this amazing amenity?
Where are you in fundraising? How much money have you raised so far?
Sure. So the campaign goal is $25 million. We currently hold around $9 million in commitments. Some of that dates back to when this park was originally envisioned years ago. So, I believe Mayor mentioned the $2+ million Department of Economic Development grant, which also we're counting in that $9 million. So, still a long way to go, but we know that this community is excited about this project. It means so much to downtown and the West Haymarket, and we're ready to get going. So. Like you've heard people say, shovels in the ground in a year. We've got some work to do, but with a lot of excitement and enthusiasm, I think we'll get there.
Any other questions? Okay. Well, thank you again for joining us today. We are so excited by this collaborative work that we are doing in partnership with the private sector, the philanthropic sector, and our business community to grow the great life in Lincoln. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.